In New Jersey, sports aren't a pastime, they're a pulse. A rhythm that cuts through boardwalk towns and busy turnpike exits, through arenas lit in red, campuses alive with tradition, and communities that rally around the teams they claim as their own. Here, sports don't sit in the background. They move us, they unite us, they shape the identity of a state that has always punched above its weight. They create jobs, fuel local businesses, inspire generations, and tie together cities, neighborhoods, and people who see themselves in every game-winning moment. Because in New Jersey, sports aren't something we watch, they're something we feel. I'm Mike Hamm. I've spent years traveling New Jersey, telling the stories that define this place and the people who make it what it is. And if there's one story that runs through all of it, it's this pulse, the one sports create in every corner of our state. So today, we're taking a deeper look at the impact of sports in New Jersey, how they strengthen our communities, build our economy, and connect us to the world. And there's no better place to begin than with a team built on toughness, loyalty, and a whole lot of Jersey grit. Ken, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, to Jersey. Can we talk about what it's like to be Mr. Devil? With a lot of great players coming through here, what's that mean to you?
Oh boy, well, I'm humbled. It means the world to me. The fans stuck by us, shall I say, through thick and thin, and the fan base just has continued to grow and got younger, and youth hockey has grown in the state. I don't know the exact number, but when I came here in '82, I think there were 6 rinks in the entire state, and now it's 60, 70. Youth hockey, figure skating, skating in general, girls, boys have just taken a liking and interest in whether it's playing hockey or just skating in general. And that's something we're proud of, certainly here in New Jersey. And the fans are a monster part of that. Yeah. It's a great state for kids of all sports. But yes, we certainly love to continue to grow our great game of hockey.
Absolutely. So can we talk about why New Jersey's sports ecosystem is good for businesses?
Sports, is a bond. It brings a real bond amongst so many different generations. That's how business works, right? It's all about getting together, and I think the Garden State does it well.
That's right. What makes the New Jersey fans specifically unique?
The hockey fans in general are passionate because there's a lot going on in the game. It's nasty, it's physical, it's speed, it's finesse. So you get all kinds of different fan bases. They're all rooting hard for the team. But here in New Jersey, just speaking from experience in my playing days and just being around it now and broadcasting games, they've gotten louder over the years, and I love that.
45 years in the NHL, you've played pretty much everywhere, you've broadcasted now pretty much everywhere. Can you talk to me about what makes Prudential Center special?
It's intimate. It's a great venue. It's fantastic because you're on top of the action. A hockey game, a concert, whatever it may be. The acoustics, by the way, I've been to many concerts, is fantastic here, and that's why they get some of the best artists in the world here. It's like a party.
Yeah. Newark has a lot of things going on. The immediate area around here is vibrant, a lot of stuff, fan activations around the building. Can we talk about the local area, if you have any local, maybe Newark favorites too?
In my younger days, when I liked to have a lot of fun, the Ironbound was a blast. There was a lot of great bars and restaurants there. I had a blast, and Jersey's a big state. There's a lot going on, but this is a big city that they continue to try to develop and continue to grow. And I know the Devils are a big part of that. The organization, they've done a terrific job of continuing to be very supportive of right here where our beloved Devils play.
That's right. Can you talk about the 3 Stanley Cups and what that means really for a New Jersey pride?
I always believe, man, I was one of those guys that would tell every reporter as a kid I was a little nuts, and I'd say, we're gonna become something someday. When we finally became a contender and a team that could make the state proud and the fans proud, it meant everything to us to hoist the Stanley Cup and have Stanley Cup championship parades right in the state of New Jersey. And the Meadowlands at the time, now we're at the beautiful Prudential Center here in downtown Newark. It was everything to us. 42 years later, I'm blessed and I'm still here and wouldn't want to be anywhere else but in the state of New Jersey.
I don't know if you heard, but the World Cup is
Yes.
coming here in 2026. So obviously there's going to be a lot. I think they said 3 billion eyeballs on the state of New Jersey. Is there something that you want the world to know about New Jersey so they can prepare themselves for what they're about to
Our
experience?
boys came as a 19-year-old kid. I was one of the rare guys that never went home in the summer because I loved what it had to offer right away. Whether me wanting to have some fun at the Jersey Shore, I'm a golfer, some of the best golfing in the States, in fact, in the world, in the state of New Jersey, great restaurants, everything. So I think it's a wonderful showcase for the state of New Jersey. I think it's great that they picked this venue, and it's going to be fantastic. And I want to keep making sure people understand how great of a state we live in.
The Devils embody what New Jersey sports have always stood for: toughness, loyalty, and a deep connection to the communities around them. Their success doesn't just echo through the arena, it ripples outward into local restaurants, small businesses, and the workers who bring game day to life. But the heartbeat of New Jersey sports isn't only found at the professional level. It's in the places where student athletes become leaders, where tradition fuels ambition, and where entire campuses rise and fall with every season. Because just down the turnpike is a university whose influence stretches far beyond the field. A place where athletics, academics, and innovation collide to shape the next generation of New Jersey's story. And at the center of that impact is someone who turned adversity into inspiration and became a symbol of what this state is made of. All right, we're here at SHI Stadium on a campus of Rutgers, New Jersey with the great Eric LeGrand. Eric, good to see you again, buddy.
It's great to be with you, brother.
Can you take us back to your time at Rutgers and how your journey to here began?
My time at Rutgers was amazing. I always tell people from the time I got on campus in early of 2008 to when my injury happened in 2010, I got to meet a lot of great people that I'm still friends with. It took me from being a boy, I said 18 years old, 17 when I got here, to a man at the time of my injury. And then the support that happened after my injury was just incredible. Still to this day, 15 years later, people supporting me. So my time here was just a pleasure, and that's why I love to rep that Block R everywhere I go, because of what this university means to me.
We're sitting here in SHI Stadium. Your number's retired, it's up there. Can we talk about what that means for you?
It's special. I mean, we are the birthplace of college football, right here at Rutgers University, and to see my number hanging up in the rafters, the only one when this game started in 1869, to think about how many people wore number 52 or just the Rutgers jersey in general. It's a legacy. It's something I want to always be looked at as a hero, someone who's never given up, worked hard, had all the cards stacked against him, but still lived his life to the fullest, and that's going to go way beyond the years that I'm here on this earth, and that's special.
You've obviously turned your own personal challenge into a platform for change and all that. Can we talk about Team LeGrand, your foundation, and the mission behind all of that?
Yeah, so in the fall of 2013, we formed the foundation, Team LeGrand, of the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation. A funny story, I told my mom that I wanted to start my own foundation and give back to the paralysis community, and I asked her who Christopher Reeve was, and she looked at me like I was crazy. Like, why didn't I know that? And I was like, Mom, you remember I was born in 1990. I didn't realize what a megastar he was around the entire world.
Superman.
Exactly, for her, he was a megastar. And him being right here from New Jersey is also pretty cool. So partnering up with them has been quite the journey, and I'm proud to say we've raised close to $3 million for spinal cord injury research since our inception.
What makes the ecosystem here so supportive for entrepreneurs and people that are trying to influence change here in the state?
I mean, we get behind each other, we support each other no matter what we say. We may argue with each other, yell at each other, say whatever we want, but at the end of the day, when somebody has a good mission, a good heart, the community, the state of New Jersey will get back behind them.
World Cup coming here in 2026. And what do you think that experience is going to be like for them to visit here for the first time?
It's going to be wild, and especially doing it during the summertime too. I think that's the best time to visit New Jersey, because that's when you can have accessibility to the entire state. We got it all here, so all these countries that are coming in here, the people that are here, they'll be able to check out how we do it American style here, but they'll be able to get some of their own food that they would try back home right here in New Jersey. So I'm excited to see that, and hopefully they'll stop by the coffee shop too for a great cup of coffee.
That's true. You're also an entrepreneur. So you have the LeGrand Coffee House, which we did an episode there together. You have the LeGrand Whiskey. Why open all this stuff in New Jersey?
You know, I opened up the coffee shop I wanted to do here in New Jersey, in my hometown. I'm from Woodbridge, New Jersey, born and raised. So I wanted to be able to give back to the community with that coffee shop. And my motto at the time was, we want to bring unity to the community with a daily cup of belief. Believe has been my motto since my injury. It's a way of life. And then when it comes to the bourbon, you know, being able to go to all these different bars, restaurants, liquor stores, it's really, bourbon's bringing the community together.
What makes New Jersey such a fertile ground for people to start businesses, whether it's in sports, innovation, all that kind of stuff? Can we talk about Jersey in that respect?
There's so many people in the state of New Jersey, and it's very diverse. Whatever field you want to get into, you get a mixture of everything here in New Jersey, whether it's me with my coffee, bourbon, or whether if you want to go down the shore, we call it down to the beach, and start a business down there. If you want to go out to Northwest, I go out in the mountains. If you want to go all the way down to South Jersey, where you can do a bunch of farming and agricultural work down there. It's a small state that's packed with a lot of people. Everything is here, all in one, which I love so much about this state, and I'm proud to represent it.
Your story, and I've told this to other people, and like your energy and your spirit and your passion for things feels like that's what Jersey is all about. And I feel like you're just a great representation of the state and the people that live here. Like, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great because I do think about that often, actually, because people from Jersey, we are passionate, we're tough, we're gritty, we're not afraid to, to get hard work done. When we get knocked down, we find ways to pick each other up and get ourselves back up. There are going to be good days, there are going to be bad days, there'll be ugly days. But somehow we continue to keep on showing up and showing out. And I think that's what represents that Jersey culture the most. And whether it's physical toughness or mental toughness, it's that pride that we wear on our chest.
Rutgers reminds us that sports aren't measured only by wins and losses. They're measured by the people they empower, the communities they uplift, and the pride they ignite across the state. And that pride doesn't stop at the edge of campus. It spills into nearby towns, gathers in local bars, fills youth fields, and connects fans who share the same heartbeat. Just a few miles east, another passion takes hold, one with global reach and a deeply local identity. In Harrison, soccer isn't just a sport, it's a culture. A meeting place for families, lifelong fans, and new arrivals who all speak the same language once the match begins. And it's been shaped by legends and by Jersey-grown talent that carried this state's grit onto an international stage. All right, so we're here at Sports Illustrated Stadium in Harrison, New Jersey with Bradley Wright Phillips and Connor Lade. Guys, welcome.
Thank you for having us, man.
Absolutely.
It's not often you get us two out together, but
That's it.
you managed to do it.
Dynamic duo. We're back.
You're both Red Bulls legends. I'd love to know a little bit about what brought you both to the club.
Football wasn't number one at the time. I was doing all the silly things that a pro athlete can do. And I came over here just to train for 2 weeks. And when you come here, you meet guys like Connor Lade and obviously Thierry Henry was here, Tim Cahill, and I thought I'd train for a couple of weeks, but as soon as I got here, I loved it. It's the best decision I made.
My parents got season tickets when they opened the stadium, and so it was basically full fandom for me growing up. Joined the academy when I was 17 years old. I tried with Red Bull, made the team, and kind of the rest is history.
Yeah, with my dad, playing for Arsenal as a youngster, when I used to see him score as a kid, I wanted to have that feeling. I wanted to have the feeling it looked like he was having when he scored a goal or celebrated.
What did it mean to wear the jersey, obviously coming to games like you were talking about, and then obviously playing, and then having a successful career, and now doing all this stuff that you're doing now? What does that mean to you?
It's something that hit me every time I put on the jersey, really. Being a local guy, you feel a lot of responsibility when you put on that crest. You grew up obviously dreaming of wanting to do it, but once you actually get to that point, you feel the sense of responsibility putting that on for being a homegrown guy and representing, every single guy in my academy team wanted to be in my shoes, and my family who sacrificed really everything for me to get to this point. I think there's a lot of sacrifices as professional athletes. We grow up going through, and you give up a lot of things to pursue your goals, and a lot of people along the way help you, and you feel the sense of responsibility to put that jersey on.
like moments for the two of you that like really stand out? I mean, obviously there's kind of like the big picture things, but are there specific moments for each of you that like, wow, I always think of this when I'm thinking of my time with the Red Bulls?
If you see me play, my celebration was the heel clicks. And there's a moment that always comes back at the training ground. This was just something me and him were just messing around doing. So anytime I see a goal of mine and I see that celebration, I always think of like Connor, because that's why the heel clicks are around.
My debut is something I'll always remember. I remember signing my first contract for the club. You know, sharing that moment with my family was something really special.
Through this whole series, one of the people that we had on was Ken Danico, who was obviously not from New Jersey, but made it his home. You, in a similar fashion, not from New Jersey. Obviously, the Red Bulls, your number 99 is retired. You're the all-time leading goal scorer. The kind of impact that it has for you, knowing that you had such an indelible mark on this organization.
The people in New Jersey are just different. There's a get up and go and grind attitude about it. And it reminds me of where I'm from. You know, in South London, that's how the people are. So whenever I'm here, whenever I'm in New Jersey, Connor knows, you know, how much I love New Jersey. It's because of that reason. I don't feel too far from home. So to come here as a player that was just training to check it out and to have my number retired is, even now, I don't really know how to describe the feeling.
You've stayed involved with the Red Bulls, you know, in different capacities since your time playing here. Can we talk about that and why that was important for you as well?
My last year, 2019, it was probably one of my tougher seasons that I had as a pro. After that 2019, I felt like my story wasn't finished with the club. You know, it's the worst day in every professional athlete's career is the day you retire, because so much uncertainty about the future. You know you're going to be ripped away from something you worked your whole life to do. I feel like I've got a lot of knowledge both of the club and the area, so I felt like it was something that I owed the club for what they gave me. I wanted to give it back to them and the players, the new players coming through, and, you know, just be a resource to them.
Can we talk about the sports culture, kind of like a broad picture of what Jersey's all about and like what people could expect from here?
The fans are so passionate here, and they really want their team to do well, and they'll let you know. There's no, you know, hiding things. You see, you're at an appearance or something, and you see someone like, hey, you really played terrible this game, but like, we're excited to come watch you next week, and hopefully it can be better, and you know what, you respect it.
To watch it and play sports, I couldn't think of a better place. I've been to LA. It was decent, but Jersey just feels a little different to me.
Yeah, it is different. We are different. The growth that you've seen here in the state in soccer in general, and then why Jersey is such a great place to grow the game of soccer.
But for me, when I came in 2013, there was love, you know, but I was still walking into bars or restaurants and you're seeing more Jets or Giants. Now I walk on the streets, I'm seeing not just Red Bull jerseys, you're seeing in New York City now, you're seeing LAFC, Inter Miami, obviously, because of Messi's there. The growth in this amount of time it's blown me away.
And I think the best part about Jersey is how culturally diverse it is here. Yeah. And so many people come here and have this massive appetite for soccer, and that grows it as well.
Can we talk about what makes this place awesome? I told you off mic that this is my first time here, and I was blown away with how amazing this is.
You get a packed crowd here, I think it's second to none in MLS.
The amount of people I've played against, like ex-soccer players, and whenever we talk, it's like, this was my favorite place to play. Sports Illustrated was a favorite away game to go to. But then as a fan, there's not a bad seat in the house. And I'm not just saying that. I grew up watching football at my beloved Arsenal FC, and at Highbury, when I would go there, sometimes you'd have pillars in the way. So depending on your seat, there'll be like a big pillar in the way, and you'll be, you know, Bergkamp's doing a move here, you see him there, then you have to look. Do you know what I mean? And it was a great place to go and watch football, but at Red Bull, you don't have that. You know, no matter what seat you're getting, you're going to see everything, every bit of the action. And then the hospitality as well, just within the people that work here. It's an amazing experience. You're not just coming to see a game, it's an experience.
Yeah.
What do you think people should expect as they're watching World Cup games, particularly at MetLife, and the stuff that's going on here, that Jersey sports fans, Jersey soccer fans, just the culture here, people that are visiting here, like what should they expect?
MetLife's going to be absolutely rocking come World Cup time. I mean, it's another place where you could hear it from miles away. In today's day and age where everything's about putting a topic out there and dividing people, it's nice to see something we all can rally around.
How do you see this accelerating that even further, having the World Cup come here and it be like the last game of the 2026 World Cup is here in Jersey?
For you to feel it and experience it, and for kids now who are growing up loving, obviously they're watching Messi. You see Messi jerseys in Target in Jersey now. It's Inter Miami stuff. You would never see that.
Yeah.
But these kids are going to be able to experience it now, and they're going to be able to share that with their children. And this is how you just keep the cycle going.
Parents sees it or grandparents sees it, trickles down. That's how it is in England. That's why there's hundreds of years of history.
100%.
Jobs this is gonna, bring to New Jersey in America in general. When that goes back into the community, maybe you're building soccer facilities, places for kids to go and practice. So those are the kind of things that will bring in, and that's how it will accelerate. But
If you could share one thing about living or working in New Jersey that you both love, what would that one thing be?
There's so much love in the communities here, and you could go one street away and you feel like you're in a different country. It's the overwhelming sense of home everywhere you look.
where I grew up, it was a place driven by community. I could go to my neighbor's house and ask for anything. Every Sunday would go to my grandma's house. My whole family would go and eat there. And I found that in New Jersey.
If you could share one message with the world about what New Jersey represents, what would that be?
Get up and grind, man.
It never gets old talking about Jersey.
Yeah.
We love you.
The Red Bulls show how deeply the world's game is woven into New Jersey, from youth development programs to packed match nights at Sports Illustrated Stadium. It's a sport that creates connection, belonging, and a shared identity across cultures and generations. And now, that identity is stepping onto its biggest stage yet. Because New Jersey isn't just part of the soccer landscape, it's preparing to help host the most watched sporting event on the planet. The FIFA World Cup is coming to our backyard, bringing unprecedented economic impact, global attention, and millions of fans who will experience New Jersey's cities, businesses, transit hubs, and culture firsthand. This isn't just a moment for soccer, it's a moment for the entire state. All right, so here with Alex Lasry here in Newark, New Jersey. Alex, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So can you start by sharing your role with the New York, New Jersey FIFA World Cup Host Committee and what your team is focused on as we get closer to 2026?
So I'm the CEO for the New York, New Jersey World Cup Host Committee, and our role is kind of under 4 pillars. So we look at our responsibilities as security, transportation, fan engagement, and economic impact. And so, kind of everything outside the stadium, we're really responsible for. And I think all 4 really tie into each other.
New Jersey is a place that's known for its energy, its passion, its diversity. Can you take me through why New Jersey is just a natural fit to host what will be the biggest sporting event ever watched in the history of basically mankind?
The last World Cup final was viewed by the same amount of people as the last 13 Super Bowls combined. So, if the Super Bowl is and football is America's sport, football is the world's sport. This region is the capital of the world. And if you're looking to put the biggest event on the biggest stage, you're doing it right here.
What do you think people are going to discover about this area, this region, and what Jersey has to offer?
The incredible authenticity and diversity of events. And I think what we're hoping to do is make sure that we're prepared for the influx of people that's going to be here, and that we show them an incredible time and an experience that only New York, New Jersey can.
Absolutely. Obviously, we have the games here in New Jersey at MetLife, but also, 2 hours from here down in Philly, there's games as well, which obviously creates an immense opportunity for the state, really, to kind of have that almost like thoroughfare of people coming from the South and the North.
So many people come to the World Cup not expecting to go inside the stadium.
Right.
So they're coming to experience, with their fellow countrymen and women and celebrate and be a part of the World Cup activities. We want to provide experiences all over the state that allow you to celebrate and be part of the World Cup without maybe going inside the stadium. MetLife can hold 70, 80,000 people. Lincoln Financial can hold, roughly the same. But we're expecting millions of people. That's really, I think, one of the biggest economic drivers of what a World Cup can do, and really draw them to New Jersey and give them an experience that they'll never forget.
What kind of impact are you projecting for New Jersey and the surrounding area?
So we're expecting, over $3 billion just for our region. And that's just for, over the course of the World Cup. I think the big economic impact is what can happen after the World Cup. There's a big responsibility when you're putting on not just the World Cup final, but when you're doing it in this region, right? People have an expectation that when they're coming to New Jersey, that they're going to get a certain quality of experience. And we not only want to meet that, but we want to surpass it.
With fans representing every nation on earth, essentially, how do you plan to celebrate that diversity and provide opportunities for them to kind of feel like they're home when they're here in New Jersey?
I think you're going to have a lot of countries who feel like they're having a home game. And I think that's something you can only get in the US, but really you can only get, kind of in New Jersey, because, you're going to have teams from all over the world who are going to have massive fan bases, right here. New Jersey is one of, if not the most diverse state in the country, and it's what's going to make, I think, a lot of these countries say, and federations say, we want to come back to the United States. This was an incredible experience. We felt like we were playing at home. You don't get that in any other country or at any other World Cup.
Can we also talk about MetLife Stadium? And obviously, it's hosted huge events. I mean, football games every weekend, huge concerts, all that kind of stuff. Take me through why MetLife is just a perfect place for the final, particularly the 8 games, but the final in particular.
MetLife is one of the premier stadiums, if not the premier stadium in the country. And I think when you're talking about the biggest game on the biggest stage, that's MetLife. If you're trying to think through transportation, security, fan engagement, economic impact, there's nothing that MetLife hasn't put on. There's nothing that it hasn't seen. So, for me, when I think about, how do we kind of show this country in the best light, MetLife is going to put on the biggest and best show there is, which I can't wait to see.
Yeah, me too. What do you hope is the legacy for the World Cup here in New Jersey down the road with all the different things that are a part of what we've been talking about?
First is kind of leaving that playbook for future events and showing that when it comes to putting on the biggest events in the world, the corporate community steps up, the community steps up and welcomes these events with open arms and shows the world why you want to do it here. And then I think also trying to kind of inspire the next generation of athletes. There's no reason the U.S. men's national team can't be the best. And I think when you look at what the '99 Women's World Cup did, that led to a generation of female athletes all wanting to play on that pitch. And I think, hoping that this World Cup can do also what the Dream Team did for basketball around the world. Having Mbappe, Messi, Ronaldo, Kane, having those guys playing here is hopefully going to inspire, the next 6, 7, 8-year-old to say, I want to be on that pitch. I want to represent my country and lead us to a World Cup victory.
So if you take all the stuff that we talked about today and just kind of distill it down into just a few words, and people that are anticipating coming here, planning on coming here for the World Cup, what would you say to them to prepare them for that?
Be prepared to be amazed. It's going to be an elevated experience. It's going to be one where you can only get here. We're choosing these iconic venues to really show off the region, and then also saying, hey, if you're not going to any of those, there are incredible places to go all across the state. Experience it, be a part of it. You're going to leave here saying, I can't wait to come back to New Jersey.
Sports in New Jersey don't live in isolation. They live in every neighborhood, every business corridor, every stadium, and shore town, every shared moment that brings people together. From the ice to the hardwood to the pitch, from college programs to global tournaments, every team and every fan adds another thread to the story of who we are. And as the world prepares to arrive on our doorstep, one truth stands tall. New Jersey doesn't just show up for sports. We elevate them, we grow them, we push them forward, because in New Jersey, sports aren't a pastime, they're a pulse.